Ariana Grande shook us all when she released her new breakup song right before Pete Davidson talked about her on SNL.
Oh, this story is everything, and Demi Lovato is out of rehab and might already have a new man.
Yikes. Plus, we now know Mac Miller's official cause of death. We're talking about all of these stories right now on Hollyscoop's Daily Rewind. Happy Monday, you guys. Welcome to Hollyscoop's Daily Rewind. I'm Madison Hill.
I'm Devin Howard.
Now, we are going to start this rewind off with some kind of heavier news, but it's very important and it's something everyone's going to want to know. We've now learned Mac Miller's official cause of death. We've kind of been waiting on this LA County coroner report since that sad day in September, basically.
Right.
In a new report, this is coming from TMZ, we learned Mac's official cause of death is an accidental overdose. It was caused by a, quote, mixed drug toxicity. The report from the LA County coroner states that he had fentanyl, cocaine, and some alcohol in his system.
Wow.
What's sad is the fentanyl for me. That really stuck out because we know that contributed to Prince's death, Lil Peep's death, and that was also what Demi overdosed on during the summer. So it's kind of crazy that this is happening so much.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a very dangerous drug, and it's becoming really, really popular among all the celebrities that we know and love in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it's unsettling.
What's scary is that these drugs are laced with that. I don't know if that's necessarily like what they're targeting. I don't know. Just the whole thing seems really fishy, scary, and odd to me.
Yeah.
Along with this information, the report also states that Mac was found in a praying position. There were several prescription drugs that were next to him, as well as a $20 bill with some white residue. He didn't take any fatal amount of one drug, but it was just the combination of the prescription drugs, the cocaine, the fentanyl, alcohol, everything that kind of just led to what ended up happening, which is really unfortunate. And it's just another sad day for Mac's family and friends and fans because it's kind of like opening that wound all over again, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. Hearing this also makes me think that Mac's last day probably was very distressing for him, because I don't think that if you're just out having a good time, enjoying your life, you're going to be taking all these different drugs, you know?
Right.
I think that it really speaks volumes about what he was going through at the time, how he was feeling, because he's obviously trying to numb something. So that just breaks my heart even more.
Absolutely. You guys, don't forget to just send Mac's family, friends, and fans positive thoughts down there in the comments. We just want to share some love with them, especially today.
They need it.
Next, let's talk about Demi Lovato. So we thought Demi was staying in treatment until the end of the year, possibly even 2019. But she was spotted out this weekend for the first time since everything went down with her. She was seen on a dinner date in Beverly Hills. And she wasn't alone. And she wasn't with Wilmer Valderrama, which I'm a little upset about, if I'm being honest. Because if she was going to be spotted out with a guy, I would prefer it to be him.
Yeah.
She was with clothing designer Henry Levy. Apparently, Demi has worn his designs in the past. They kind of did have a friendship. But they were out looking very happy. They were laughing, and they were even seen holding hands. It definitely looked like something was going on.
Yeah, that sounds like something's going on.
I mean, obviously one dinner date doesn't scream relationship status, but something's happening, and it worries me a little bit because I'm like, Demi's fresh out of treatment. I feel like a relationship isn't the best idea. I don't know, it just worries me a little.
Oh, I think a lot of this is pretty concerning. Well, first of all, she was supposed to stay in rehab for several more months, 2 more months. Now she's out of it, so that's kind of a little bit weird. She's also back in Los Angeles. She wasn't supposed to return back to Los Angeles, which is a huge trigger spot for her. I think that there's a lot of things here. I'm worried that having a boyfriend or dating somebody is just going to make her lose sight of what her focus is right now, which is her health and her sobriety.
Absolutely, and I tried kind of looking up some more information on this guy because I didn't really know who he was.
Yeah.
His Instagram is private, which is interesting. She does follow him on Instagram, and apparently he also has had some problems with drugs and alcohol in the past as well.
Ooh.
So I don't know if they're leaning on each other for support or what, but also that's kind of another red flag in my opinion. Hopefully he doesn't distract her from her sobriety. A source did speak to TMZ and said that's still Demi's main priority, obviously, because I think this kind of looks a little concerning.
Yeah.
So let's just fingers crossed that everything's okay.
I hope that he's also on a sober path too, because I think that would actually be very beneficial for the both of them. But if he's out drinking with friends, even if it's casual social drinking, wouldn't be good.
I know.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous because I love Demi. I know you love Demi too. Yeah. And the whole thing makes me nervous, so we're definitely going to have to keep updated on that situation.
Yes.
Okay, now we're gonna get to some lighter news. We had a lot of heavy things at the beginning of Rewind. We're gonna end on like a more positive note. Yeah. We're gonna talk about Ariana and Pete because a lot went down with them this weekend.
So much.
First of all, Ariana released a new breakup song called Thank You Next, and I am living for it.
Yes, it is everything.
It is everything. She references this. Hello. All of her exes. Clearly, I'm excited. All of her exes right off the bat. We have Big Sean, Ricky. Of course, she mentioned Mac Miller. And Pete Davidson, hello. And it was a savage move because she released it 30 minutes before Saturday Night Live, which I was like, that was on purpose.
It was so on purpose. Who else releases? Wait, SNL still airs at midnight, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So who releases a song at 11:30 p.m.?
Oh, well, it just was revealed I don't watch SNL that much. Sorry, Pete Davidson.
Well, we don't watch it live.
Yeah, that's true.
Netflix. Hulu.
That's true. So this time, now that Pete, was back to SNL, he really had to kind of address his breakup with Ariana, especially after that breakup song.
Yeah.
And for the first time, he actually had some nice things. Hello, I just developed a list. Some nice things to say about Ariana, and no joke. So at the end of his weekend update segment, he said this.
But the truth is, it's nobody's business, and sometimes things just don't work out, and that's okay. She's a wonderful, strong person, and I genuinely wish her all the happiness in the world.
It's kind of awkward because he's like, okay, I have to address this even though I'm talking about voting and all of these things. But he did have some really nice words. He wished her the best, and I feel like now they can kind of like cut the cord and be done.
Yeah, I felt like what he said was pretty good. It was straight, it was to the point, it didn't divulge any personal information about their relationship, about Ariana, so I thought it was great.
Yeah, I preferred Ariana's breakup song, but Pete, what you said on SNL was okay too.
Yeah.
We also have clarification of what he meant during that SNL promo where he said that he was 0-3 on engagements. Remember, this is kind of the thing that got Ariana subtweeting and really upset her. Apparently, he proposed to his ex, Cassie David, several times during their 2-year relationship, and she said no every time.
Okay, when someone says no after multiple proposals, I think it's time to...
I'm also like, how did they last 2 years after she said no?
I know.
That many times.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, if somebody said, if I proposed to someone and they said no, I'd be like, all right,
we're breaking up. Yeah, what's the point of this anymore if we're not trying to get to the finish line?
Yeah.
What are we doing? So much went down. I don't know. I'm just all for Ariana's song. I'm still listening to it.
Me too.
This morning.
So good.
So for it. All right, you guys, let us know what you think about all of these things that we talked about this morning. Mac Miller, Demi Lovato, and of course, Ariana and Pete. Talk about all those stories down there in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys here next time on Hollyscoop's Daily Rewind. Bye, guys.